Beautiful. Very, very pleased with the outcome of this. It looks 10 times or 20 times better than my previous vision board. Hi everyone, Matthew here. In this video, I'm going to share with you how I turned my vision board from this into this. I'll show you exactly how you can get the same effect with your vision board, and even if you don't have a color printer. So stick around and I'm going to dive straight in and show you how it's done. The very first thing we need to do before we go to Google is write down all the images that you would like. So I start first with the base images. So I go for the sun, forest, nature, sand, mountains. And I know this video is speeded up just because I wanted the video to be short, but I've listed everything that I wanted from Google. So a car, 1,000 subscribers, gym, travel, dog, Las Vegas, aeroplane, supplements, trading academy, library, 10k in a trading account. What else we got here? Traveling, business trip, tattoo, and all I'm doing is typing exactly what I want from Google and saving the images. And then once I've saved the images, I'm good to go for the next stage. But this is great, this section, because it really gets you excited for everything that you want to experience. Now we move on to the words. So just some examples, I've got I am words, mindset words, success words, and if you really wanted to see all the words I've used, just pause the video on my vision board and zoom in and just write down all the words I've used, and you can use them yourself. Just a quick lesson on cropping. So if there's any images that you find on Google that are WebP images, it won't probably let you save them properly. So what I do is I actually crop or print screen the image, then I paste it into Paint 3D or just the original Paint, then I crop it, and then if there's any color left that you don't like, you can use the magic wand tool bottom right, and then you can draw over the images, and then you can save it, and then you can crop any other images like this that you have of any other images inside images that you don't like and you just want to make smaller or just cut out. So this is how you crop. So now we're going to add the images to Microsoft Word. You can add images to another program similar to Microsoft Word, but in this example I'm going to be using this program. I actually have hidden the top bar just to hide my username and email address. There is an add image section up here, but in this example I'm going to be clicking and dragging the images over. Also, I've changed the setting to landscape mode just so it's easier when adding the images over. And finally, if you just keep hitting return and then we want to create new pages, you can hold the return button down, and then what this does is it's just gonna open up more pages so we can have more images to go on. So we go back up to the top and we want to start with the nature images or pictures of the sky, the sun, the beach, mountains, etc., because this is going to be the base for the 3D vision board. So if I click over and drag the first image, which is going to be this one, and we want to set this as square, and then what this does is it enables us to move this image round, and we want to use up as much space as possible, because when this goes to the printer, it's going to save us with cost wise. So that's our first image. Second image, let's say we drag over this next nature picture, and then we've got this one, and then again we want to change this to square, and now we can move this to here. Now I will be filling up these other pages with all the rest of my nature type pictures, but with the white space that we've got here, we can actually fill this up. So if I drag over another image, which is this one, so this is quite a big size one. If I change that to square, let's see if I can put this here. See, that one was perfect. So now this one page, when it goes to print, will have this image and this image. It will unfortunately move these images down from time to time. So let's add another image on, a small one, and let's add this journal one. So if we put this here, so sometimes it can be a bit fiddly. I don't know why that's not letting me drag that over, but not to worry. All we need to do is just keep dragging these images over, and we want to use as much space as we can. And also it gives a visualization of what the actual size of the images is going to be. So if we drag over, say let's drag over the dog, I know roughly it's going to be this size when it's going to be printed off. And what we can do, if we wanted to make this smaller, the best thing actually is to change it to square first. And you can also right click on it as well. We can actually make it smaller like this. And then we can have that image like that. And all I'm going to do now is just keep filling up all of the pictures and take up as much space as possible. and the beach. They're going to be the biggest ones, like I mentioned, for the base. And then you've got all these other smaller images that can be placed on top of these images. So I'm just going to scroll down and show you these images and words which have meaning to myself. You can go ahead and use these images as well if you like to, but these will mainly have a meaning for me. And just going to keep scrolling down. But yeah, I'm very happy with the images that I've got. I think I've got enough to cover my whole vision board, but if I do have space left over or I need to add any more images, then I can create some more images to go and get printed. That's not a problem, but I thought I'd just add more than enough, just so when I start adding and cutting these to the vision board, I'm not going to be short. So it's better to have more than less. And yeah, like I said, I'm very happy with the images that I've got. I'm excited to get these printed and start cutting them up. At the start of this video, I did mention that you can print all of your images in colour, even if you don't have a colour printer, your family members don't have a colour printer, and even your friends do not have a colour printer. And it's pretty straightforward. All you have to do is find a printing shop that has a colour printer. Pretty straightforward, right? So I actually have one 5 minutes walk from my house. So I decided, as it was a nice day, just to walk down there, talk over some pricing, how long it's going to take, etc. But for you, you might have one that's quite a while away, so you probably best just emailing over the documents and asking for a price. But yeah, let's find out how much this is all going to cost. Okay, so some good news. I've got the images back and they're looking really good. Nice color images that I've got now, whereas before they were black and white and just looked horrible. So these are what they look like, and I got a good price, 50p a sheet. 50p a sheet for color images, which is cheap in my opinion. And I got around 30 pages, so that works out around £15. And you can do this with magazines, but the thing is, with the magazines, they're £4 to £5 a go, and if you buy the magazines, you might not get all the images that you're after. So I do think it is a lot better to find the images that you exactly want and that you want printed. So these are just the base images that are going to go on first to the vision board. And let's just speed this up a little bit. Now we're going into my other pictures. So someone meditating there. We've got the unconscious competence. This is very important, very good thing to know. So you've got a nice car, and I won't go through all of them, but there was a little mess up with this, and I don't know whose fault entirely it was, but some images were placed over another image, like this one here. The money was over this image, but when I have my document and I sent it over, all the images were separated and there was no problems my side. But then when it went to print, it just printed off some images over each other. So I don't know what happened there, but unfortunately I did have to go back just for a second time to fix some of these images. But it's fine, you know, it wasn't that many. Most of them come out fine. And yeah, I'm excited. So now I'm going to start cutting these images up. But just keep that in mind when you do send these images over for print. Make sure that they're not going to go over one another, and just ask the company that it's definitely not gonna go over each other and for them to check that. So next up, we're gonna start cutting these up. Right, let's do this. So using your scissors, we're going to start with the base, and pretty straightforward really. We're just going to cut just around the edges, just get rid of the white paper. The cut doesn't have to be perfect. You can take your time with this, but for the sake of the video, I'm just going to speed this up. And I'm not going to cut every single image, I'm just going to show you the images that I'm just going to do for the camera. Get this back down so you can see what I'm actually doing. This is the easy one. When I get onto some other images, I'll show you how I'm gonna cut those. So now we have this, which looks cool. So get rid of that, get rid of this. We'll do this one here. Nice and easy. I don't know if anyone remembers doing this as a kid. It was great fun. Cutting images up, having that wild imagination. And in essence, this is kind of going back to being a kid, you know. Once you've cut all the base images, they should start looking like this, and they're looking really good. Very happy with them. I've got more than enough, I believe, to cover the whole of the vision board as my base, and I've got a wide variety of different colours here. So that's obviously all red. Got the sky with the sun, and I've got sand, some more sky, got nice paradise, a beach there, some trees with the sun going through, and then I've got these two images which are the same, which is kind of the sky. So I was thinking of having this at the top of the vision board, and then we've got nice mountain covered with snow, nice aerial shot of a mountain with some trees. Now we're going to dive into cutting my other images. So I've got a nice car here, Mercedes AMG. This time I'm not going to cut round the whole of the edges because we kind of want to have this as a 3D effect. So I'm actually going to take my smaller scissors now, and I'm actually going to cut exactly round the car. Okay. So like I mentioned previously, this doesn't have to come out exactly perfect, but all I'm doing is, just see if you can see this. I've just noticed there's some sellotape on my scissors, so I'm going to have to get rid of that soon. To get a better cut, and just come off like this. Get rid of that bit. But this is super fun, you know. I'm having so much fun cutting these images. I haven't done this, as I mentioned, when I was a kid, so it's great fun, and it's so much better when they're colour images now. Like before, they were black and white, and it just looked horrible. Like I just rushed it really. I didn't really know what I was doing, but after doing some more research and thinking about it more, I was like, do you know what? I'm gonna make a new vision board and have it 3D and have it colour and really have it expressing itself, so I can look at it every single day and get excited for what I'm seeing on a day-to-day basis. So apologies if you can't see exactly what I'm doing, but just cutting around the whole of the image. So there we have it. That is kind of the effect that we want to go for, kind of exactly around the car, and that looks good, you know. So I'm going to do one more. I'm going to do all of them. It's just the video will just be too long. So let's do the dog. So I've got this here. I'm going to cut the dog. Nice puppy, female Springer Spaniel, as I used to have one called Jasmine. I think we're going to get another one soon, but let's just cut round the dog here. I really need to fix these scissors, because all I really use the scissors for is at Christmas time, you know, cutting the sellotape for the presents and cutting the wrapping paper. But they've got a different use now. I might have to go around this again because of the scissors, but just want to show you the effect that we want for our vision board, so that if you can see what I'm doing. I think you get the gist of what I'm doing. You just literally just want to cut around the images so they're not square or rectangle, and then we can place these images over other images. So there we have it. There's the dog. I will go over this again. I'm going to fix my scissors and make it more sharper so you don't have these grassy images, but that's what we want to do for every single image. And once I've done all of this, I will show you the final outcome. So I've finished cutting all the images now, so I'm going to show you what they look like. And I did miss off the car and the dog slightly off the camera. So this is the car, and as you can see, I've literally just cut round the edge and it gives that kind of a 3D effect. So that's the car. The dog I missed off. So there's the dog. And then got a business trip here. Found this image on Google, getting out of bed early, which I thought was pretty cool. And that actually looks really good, to be honest with you. What else we got here? Person reading a book with his abs out. Thought that was a good image. Brandy, because I love my brandy. House. Got a boat. Another car. And I found this image, which I thought was really, really cool. Success. Waking up early. Meditation one. BCA's just a supplement. And then I won't go through all of them, but these are how I've got my words, and they're going to be scattered all over the vision board, so they're quite small. And the idea is to focus on these words now and again when I'm looking at the vision board. And I'll just show you a few more. What else we got here? A plane. going on holiday. And then one more. Got this heart shape with all different fruits and vegetables, which is pretty cool. And like I mentioned, I do have all the base images cut and ready to rock and roll. So the next stage is sticking this all down. So let's do this. Now we're moving on to the base images, placing them down on the vision board. Make sure your vision board is the right way up before you start doing this, but it's a good idea to just place them without sticking them down first, just to get a visual idea of what they're going to look like. And then when you're happy with where the images are placed, we can now start to stick them down. Now it's time to stick the base images down. So when you start to do this, make sure you get as much glue on the back of the paper as you can. And the way I do this is stick the images over each other. Try to use up as much of the board as you can. It doesn't actually have to be perfect, but just try your best and make it look as best as you can, because previously you had an idea of where you wanted the base images to be. And yeah, good luck with this. So this is the end result. Well, I say end result, but not the end result. The end result of the base images. So once you've put down all the base images, this is what it should look like. I've literally covered every single piece up. You don't have to do that yourself. Let's just zoom out a little bit here. You don't have to cover every single bit, but I had enough to cover the whole of the board as my base, with all these nice beautiful color images ready to put the other images on top. And I layered these images sometimes on top of each other. Sometimes it's going to be sticking up, so I actually used a Q-tip. I just put some of the glue on the end of this and just got underneath and tucked it underneath, and then managed to flatten it with no problem. So little tip for you there. But yeah, very happy with the base. Now I'm going to start moving on to adding the other images on. Once we have all the base images down, the final bit is to stick all our other images down. Okay, so in this video I am just literally sticking them where I think these images are going to look best. I normally start over the corners of the other base images, but ideally if you do have enough images to fill the whole of the board, it doesn't really matter where you start because they're going to go everywhere. And I managed to fill every single piece up. They do cover most of the base images, but just remember the base images is just the background and to give it more of a color effect. So this is the end result of my vision board. Beautiful! Very, very pleased with the outcome of this. It looks 10 times or 20 times better than my previous vision board. There's just a lot going on with it. There's a lot of color. I get excited now when I look at this now on a day-to-day basis. And it didn't take too long to stick all these images down. Once they're down, they're down. I didn't redo anything. I just placed the image where I thought it would look good and then just stuck it down. and then it was done. It took around, I reckon, around an hour, just under an hour to get all these images down, but very, very pleased with the end result. And I will be adding more images on and more words onto it. If I have some space left, there is some space where I can use it up a little bit more. But yeah, very, very pleased. So yeah, this is my vision board, and I hope that you get similar results. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch my video on how to create a colourful 3D vision board yourself. I do hope that you manage to get similar results with your vision board. Now, that isn't enough. Just creating a vision board and having everything on there that you want to achieve is not enough. You need to be working on something. Okay, so I invite you to do two things. First of all, you need to download Kevin Trudeau, Your Wish is Your Command. In my opinion, it is one of the best audio programs out there. When you manage to get your hands on this, listen to it over and over again. Take lots and lots of notes. Act on what Kevin Trudeau is teaching you. But again, that isn't enough. You need to be working on something more. So I am actually in the process of creating my own trading academy. It's going to be insane. It's 3 years of my experience of learning from the best traders in the world, how to acquire the right mindset, the best strategy out there that I have actually personally come off and mastered myself. So if that's something that you're interested in, please do email me at matthewgsuk@gmail.com. And I look forward to hearing from you all soon, and to really, really get everything that you want out of life. I'll personally try my best to help you. So I look forward to hearing from you all soon. Thank you and have a good day.